Hello, YouTube.com. This is the meme museum for Crucible League. First off, as always, there is going to be some honorable mentions, then some of the main attractions, and then a whole new tier of craziness in the last tab, which is marked with some question marks. So, let's begin. First item. These are just honorable mentions. This is a heist drop or a heist item that says can have one additional crafted modifier, and because of that, it can have 4 crafted modifiers. Because even though the craft, the multi-mod, says can have up to 3, it can actually have an additional, and that additional goes on top of the 3. So, yeah, 4 crafted things on an item without recombinators. This one is a mirrored, fractured, +3 life boots. It's the only mod on it. It's the worst life row you can get, and it's mirrored, so you can no longer modify it. This is a wonderful pair of boots. This is a Vol Mask, which is actually pretty common in this league, but I don't know if it's a bug or a feature. This item has a Hunter mod on it, on the bottom, as you can see. You have Chilling Conflux, even though it doesn't have the Hunter influence. So it's just kind of weird that that doesn't, you know, that it vols into a rare with a influence mod, but it doesn't actually have influence. These exist. It has a Shaper mod too. These exist with all sorts of influences. This one is a Fractured Vol Temple. I think this might be a first or the second league that they can drop. It just looks super cursed. I just kept it because it's like, it just looks weird. This jewel is just like a story. It got fixed, so I can no longer show it. This jewel used to be bugged. If you put it on the tree, you would have like a notable on top of like a small node, like bugged just texture-wise. You couldn't actually spec it. It was just bugged. Yeah, they fixed it, so no longer works. This is a Vol's Vision, which is a really nice double corrupt. Cost reservation, 90% RME and 5% life. But the Vol's Vision is kind of ruined because of it, because Vol's Vision is an item that's, you know, gives you stuff if you have no corrupted items, including the Vol's Vision. This is a absolute min roll Black Song Crest. Well, min roll on the attributes with an amazing corrupt +1 power charge. I thought that was kind of cool to save. This one, someone just traded this to me literally 15 minutes ago. It's just bleed immunity. It's 100% reduced bleed duration. You found this from a strongbox. It got mirrored, and it's the one mod on the jewel, and it's the corruption. So together you could have 104% reduced bleed duration if you put these on. This one is a Geomantic Gyre. It's a new unique from this league, and it should have a Crucible passive tree. It says has a Crucible passive skill tree with only support passive skills, but it doesn't. It doesn't actually have a passive tree, so unlucky. This one is a wand with damage. Spell damage, fire damage, fire damage, cold damage, cold damage, lightning damage, lightning damage. We had something like this before, but, you know, damage. Same, we had White Beast before, but, you know, these are 4 different ones. They are still in the game somehow. Their nameplate is bugged. They function as yellow beasts, but they are white beasts. We have 4 of them. Weird. And then this shield, I was just looking at it. I didn't know why it was in the meme museum, but it's probably just the name. It's a lobstered crested tower shield of the starfish. I don't know if that's... Anyway, yeah, I just put it into this tab. So let's move on to the good stuff. The actual meme items. So we have one with nothing. Is this amulet. It's 1/1 to all attributes, and then 1 to all attributes, 1 minimum endurance charge, 1 to all skill gems, 1 to fire gems, 1 minimum power charge, and 1 maximum frenzy charge. So, and it's also 1% qualited. Unfortunately, there's a 3% endurance charge, but that comes with the endurance charge mod, so can't get rid of that. Someone crafted this just for the memes. Where is the frenzy charge? It's anointed. Next amulet, it's a Great Wolf Talisman, which is unidentified and corrupted. So you can see what the implicits are, but you can't identify it because it's corrupted. So they're never gonna triple, even though this item, you know, is supposed to have the triple implicit. but it doesn't actually work until you identify it. But you can't identify it, and you also can't equip it because it's unidentified. So it's just a completely useless talisman, which is, let's be honest, most talismans in the game. Moving on, Forbidden Shackle with a level 35 cast on death, split into 2 parts, 34 and 1. Very cool. We have a triple synth ring, fire damage, cold damage, lightning damage. Nice Trinity topaz ring. Different tiers, so couldn't divine them to be like the same, but yeah. Then we have an apple with a beautiful double corrupt. 5% chance to block spell damage and 5% chance to block. But with the Eternal Apple, you cannot block the line on the bottom, unfortunately, even though it's a really nice double corrupt. All right, some more numbers. 17 amulet, 17 quality, 17 dex and int, 17 rarity, 17 lightning damage, 17 energy shield, 17 lightning res, and 17 wed. And it's incubating a blight item, and the owner of this amulet has killed 17 monsters. Not more, not less. Now, the Venters. Some of these are firsts for sure. We have some more number stuff. Here's a 14, 44, 40, 44, 44, 44 with missing quant. And the main attraction, the best Venter that we have so far, is this. It's a 2 mod Venters. This is as close as we got to the 0 stat so far in 6 years of, Path of Exile, hunting for the 0 stat. Yeah, first league with a 2 passive. We've had many 3 stats, 4 stats, but speaking of 3 stats, we have a shiny 3 stat. This is the first shiny 3 stat one. Missing quant and 2 res. Next, some Crucible stuff. Quill Rain. This Quill Rain has an item sells for an additional unique short bow. So the only unique short bow is the Quill Rain. So if you vendor this Quill Rain, you get it back, and you also get 15 alteration shards and 6 alchemy shards. So, infinite value. Of course, it's not gonna have the 3 after that, but yeah, the self-divining Quill Rain. Infinite money hack. All right, this shield, this stupid Chagrined Tower Shield. Now, what's so special about this? Well, it has 100% increased elemental reflected damage taken, but 100% reduced reflected physical damage taken. However, it also has 100% reduced reflected elemental damage taken and 100% increased reflected physical damage taken. So, it all evens out in the end. It's perfectly balanced, as all Chagrined Tower shields should be. More Crucible stuff. Fishing rods. They both have, I think, the same nodes, but this one looks better. They actually spent dev time making these fishing nodes, man. Look at them. They look beautiful. Like, these icons look cool. 20% quantity of fish caught, 30% increased fishing line strength. Fish caught from the magmatic fishing holes are already cooked. This one is really good. You don't have to cook them after. The Gastly fisherman cannot spawn. This is really good if you're doing the fisherman blocking strat. And the fish caught from the fishing rod will always tell the truth. Without this, you could just be getting scammed all the time. So they can't lie if you have this spec. So it's a really nice fishing rod. This one has some bite sensitivity. You can catch divine fish. This is for the obvious currency farming strat. Increased Molten 1 confusion per fish gifted. This one is interesting. And increased Krilson friction. Yeah, just, cool stuff. Anyway, Watcher's Eyes. Triple immune. Perfectly divined. 666. Immune to freeze, ignite, and shock. All the 3 basic elements. You just have to have the 3 auras with it. Then we have a triple Purity of Ice one. Immune to freeze, immune to chill ground, and unaffected by frostbite. And then we have a triple haste one. Debuffs expire faster, onslaught on haste, and onslaught on kill, and unaffected by temp chains. So those are the Watcher's Eyes. Then we have another jewel, synthesized Gastly Eye Jewel with 5 mods. So 5 and 6 mod jewels can drop if you have this spec. 20% chance to be corrupted and have 5 or 6 random modifiers. But it also dropped synthesized, and the corruption didn't replace the synthesized outcome. So this is like a very rare drop. It's very unlikely that you find something like this. More than 4 mod Abyssal Jewel with synth implicit. So we save that one. This ring is just very clean. Double veiled. One of them is fractured. It's corrupted, and there's no other mods on it. One of them is a suffix, and one of them is a prefix. Incredibly clean ring. Fate not. Then we have a helm that I don't know if you guys can see, but do you see the edge of the... There is like this bugged edge thing on the influence. It's a double influenced unique item. It has like a blue shimmer. I don't know if I can like show this properly. Look at the edge of it. Look at like this stuff, this here, and like this and this. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Cursed. Can't unsee it. It moves with the item. It's just an iron hat. We have Eschaton's Worm's Mold. He gave it to me a few weeks ago. This is a 1 in 250,000 divine. 666 total recovery from Life Leech and 999 total recovery from Mana Leech. It's a 696969 Worm's Mold. That is a beautiful divine. Should I bless it? Sure. Let's fix it up. What, to 3/3? Single Blast Orb makes it 3/3. There you go. All right, that was fate. Okay, we're about ready for the final attraction, guys. It's happening. First of all, though, we have a Tempestuous Steel, which has hits cannot be evaded on the bottom. It's corrupted for Resolute Technique, which is hits cannot be evaded, and it has a tree with, you guessed it, Resolute Technique, which is hits cannot be evaded. So with this sword, you just cannot miss. It's just impossible. You will always hit with this Tempestuous Steel. There we go. And now, we need a picture. I found it. Oh, okay. In 2017, Mark GGG made this post responding to Viperesque. Viperesque was actually a Reddit mod. I don't know if he still is. He might still be. He's asking, as a note, these methods don't give you negative attack speed. Attack speed on weapons themselves is local and is rolled to the base speed of the weapon. It's multiplicative with increases and reductions from other sources. Also, temp chains doesn't actually affect your attack speed stat. It affects your animation speed, which is just the speed you do anything and is a whole other stat. Mark says this is correct. That said, I'm guessing if you go to 0 attack speed or less, you just wouldn't be able to attack. Mark says you'd technically be able to attack, in that you could use the attack skill. The animation would be effectively paused though, so you'd never finish that attack. You'd be stuck in this attacking until the heat death of the universe, or until you were stunned or otherwise had the current action interrupted, whichever came first. It is not possible to permanently reach 0% attack speed within the game, and it never should be possible. It is possible to emulate this by being 100% slowed. This is what happens when you're frozen and has roughly the same effect on your ability to attack. So this was 2017, and as you probably can guess, this final statement, after 6 years, is finally incorrect. Bazooka Tank has set out on a journey to make a Tripon, because there is a 50% reduced attack speed node on a maze tree, and the Tripon also has 50% reduced attack speed, which means that you can create a weapon with 0.00 attacks per second. And he did. This is that weapon. This weapon has 0 attack speed. You can put it on and you can attack, just like Mark said, but nothing happens. You are just frozen until the heat death of the universe. However, you can take this one step further, because not only does this node exist, there is also an explicit scaling node, and another reduced attack speed node. So Bazooka Tank made that one too. 50% reduced, 6% reduced, and explicit speed modifier scaling, which means this Tripon has minus 0.21 attacks per second, negative attacks per second. You can also not attack with this weapon. You can start it, but that's it. You're just frozen. And nothing happens. Nothing ever happens. So those are the final items of the meme museum. I can show some abilities that do actually work with it. I think one of them is charged dash. So with charge dash, you can actually like move. However, after you're done, you're kind of stuck there and you have to like force move away, or because you can't start another attack. You're still in the previous attack animation. So I can't attack. I have to interrupt my non-existing attack animation and then I can go again. Cyclone also works. But you don't do any damage because, you know, I don't know, you're not actually attacking, or I don't know. We can go to the coast. I'm cycloning, technically, but I don't deal any damage. The real Quinn build. You can put on some other abilities, I guess. Leaf Slam doesn't work. You go into this like rocket starting animation and then you never actually leap. Frozen Legion. So we can put out some Frozen Legions and they are supposed to attack, right? This spell consumes multiple cooldown uses to summon icy statues in a ring. Each statue uses your Frozen Sweep attack before vanishing. However, they can't, because we have negative attacks per second, so they will never vanish. So yeah, does that mean that we could just make infinite of these? This might be the new clone project. I guess we're doing it live. How high can this go? This is gonna take so long though. And I'm running out of space. I guess it's time for Project Clones number 2. We're gonna be here for a while. Reminder that this is a record for the lowest DPS weapon in the game. Okay. True. I can do like 60 a minute. It's like 1 second per. Wait. I'm kicking Eschaton. I think Eschaton could have come here and break this whole thing. If he comes here with a haste aura, they might all just attack. No, it doesn't do anything. Okay. Because I have negative base. Thank God. That is based. I'm just worried that if I go too far from some of them, they either start despawning or they, like, the number changes. So I want to stay here where we're in range of everything. Yeah, 0 lag, nothing. Like, maybe I lost 1 FPS overall. Yeah, it's completely fine at 59. I should open a ticket and say my Frozen Legion is too frozen. What's that art form that like the Buddhist monks do, where they like draw in the sand and then they wipe it all away? Mandala? Okay, thank you. That's what we're doing, because it's coming. Okay, so in the clone project, we got 1,182 clones. I am not going to break that record. This is just art. Museum is meant for art. This is a mandala piece. We drew something beautiful in the sand, and we're about to wipe it all away by weapon swapping. So here goes. It's gone. It's all gone. Thank you guys very much for watching the Meme Museum. That was a fun one. Maybe we'll revisit this with a little bit more min-max and a little bit more clones. They are not technically minions, but maybe we could do something fun with that in a few weeks. Thank you very much for watching. And this is the last PoE video for the League, most likely. There is some long-term plans for later, but we don't talk about that right now. I'm going to be playing Diablo 4 starting tomorrow, or I'm already playing it if you're watching this on YouTube. I'm playing and streaming D4 every day, all day, every day, blasting on a sorceress. It's going to be my first character. There might be some highlights of that game as well in the coming days. So yeah, look forward to that. Thanks for watching, and bye.